Hey everyone, Ghost here. This is my legendary guide for the second encounter of Adjutant Resolution in the Halo Infinite campaign. Feel free to stick around through the entire video to watch me defeat this boss, but as for tips and tricks, we'll just jump right into it. So as soon as you grapple down this platform, you'll see these pillars in the center of the room come up and then the boss will spawn. Now, unlike the last encounter, this encounter you want to chuck all your grenades at his center mass. We want to not take out one of the arms just quite yet. We're trying to postpone that as long as we can, because as soon as you take out one of those arms, he'll start spawning sentinels, and those guys are pretty brutal on legendary, especially during this encounter. At this point, I've used all my grenades and I've been careful not to shoot his arms. I've just been focusing my fire on his eye. We're going to shoot 2 threat sensors just to see where he's at. That way we know he's not sneaking up on us. And then I'm going to switch back to the grapple. And you're going to want to go to the location that I marked here. That's because right here on this rack you'll see that there's a needler, and that's probably the best weapon that you could use against this guy. Now from the needler you can see this weapon rack in the distance. On a crate next to it there's a sentinel beam. That'll be your secondary weapon for fighting the sentinels in this boss battle. I'd also like to note that a lot of these weapon racks do have grenades as well, so at this point I'm going back to throw some grenades on the boss. Now at this point I'm going to grab the needler off the rack and I'm going to go back and start aiming at his eye. I went ahead and circled the area so you can see exactly what I'm aiming for. Once you unload the needler, just get behind some cover so he can't fire at you. Now coming up at this point, you'll see how much health gets taken away. For me, with the needler explosion and that grenade, it took away 3 of his arms. So now that the needler is depleted, you can go to the location that I do and pick up the rest of the ammo for it. You can also see that the sentinels have spawned at this point. Now we want to prioritize killing them first before we do any more damage on the boss, just because they can do a lot of damage to you. You want to also be keeping your distance from the boss at this point because he shoots a purple pinkish beam that will one-shot you. The best strategy that I found for this stage of the fight is moving towards the center of the room where there's a massive column and just start keeping 2 to 3 pillars between you and the boss at all times. You can see here that I'm starting that now. I'm going to move back a little bit because he's shooting his beam. After I shoot my threat sensor, a diagram that I made will pop up. The green lines are the pillars and the red is showing the boss. Right here you can see a sentinel moving up and it took away 25% of my health, so you gotta be really careful. I would also just like to note that I thought there was needler ammo right here and I wasn't really paying attention. That's the only reason that I stuck around in this location. Again, I shoot another threat sensor. I'm just looking for any sentinels that may spawn. He spawns 2 to 3 every now and again. I would say the biggest tip for this battle is to grab the needler as soon as you can. It definitely does the most damage with the explosion. I would say overall it's probably the best weapon to use against him, especially if you didn't bring any power weapons into this. Overall, I think those are all the tips and tricks I can offer in this guide. I ended up missing a lot of my final shots so I could show you how to shield yourself with the column a few more times. With that said, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. I hope that they help. Feel free to leave any tips and tricks in the comments that you might know. Let's try and help each other out as much as we can. As always, I hope you guys are doing well, and good luck on your legendary run of Halo Infinite.
again. There should be an elevator that will get us up top.